listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Yeah, where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here?
Hello and welcome back everybody to another live stream. My name is AJ, of course, one of the mentors here at Bit Trading. And today, of course, we are going to take a look at the Bitcoin technical analysis, right? We're going to go through what I'm doing, what I'm looking at right now, what's happening right now, and kind of what I'm looking for in the near to short-term future, right? And then talk about kind of what that plan is, right? Because that's kind of the most important thing within trading. I say that about everything, to be fair, within trading, because all of it is extremely, extremely important. Without one of those important things, okay, you can become a very unsuccessful trader. But once again, there's just a lot of important things within trading, and of course having a plan is a very, very important thing, because if you don't have a plan, you're kind of just going off of you're just kind of winging it, aren't you? And that can lead to bad places. So very important to always have a plan. So of course we will talk about that today as well. I think that is it. So we will jump straight on into it. Before we do, please do make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content to you, of course. And if you are new to the channel, please do, of course, subscribe and turn that bell notification on so that you never ever miss another update, any other updates. And I guess we will jump straight on into it and take a look at what's going on. I've just pulled up the chat. So if there are any questions, if there's anything that you want me to look at, please do put that in the chat. I will be more than happy to take a look at anything you want to look at, or talk about anything that you guys want to look at, of course, as well. But let's jump into it. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button and we will get started. So, so where are we? Right. How am I positioned? Okay, as we always do. How am I positioned in this market? Right. Well, I am in a short trade. Okay. Realize the TP1, realize the TP2 on this short trade. Okay. As you can see here, $3,454 in a profit on that short trade. We entered into this all the way back on the Monday, the 30th of September. Yes, at 9 a.m., 9:02 a.m. to be exact. I told the team here, just took the short trade, right? This is a short trade. Again, like I said at the start, this is the, level of importance of having a plan, right? We had this plan for quite some time, right? We had this plan. We understood, okay, that we had these important naked points of control above us at an important pivot point, which we know liquidity was resting at, okay? And at the same time, right, what were we looking for, right? We were looking for the reaction at this certain area, okay? And the term reaction, okay, I just want to go over it a little bit. I understand reaction has a bit of a meaningless meaning to it to some people, right? But when I'm talking about a reaction, okay, at a level, okay, there are a few things that I could be looking for, right? But just to give you like a brief understanding, when I'm talking about a reaction at a level, right, it's okay, what are retail traders doing here? Okay, what trades are coming in, what trades are coming out? Are there big players here? This type of thing. I want to see what's actually going on at the level, right? We can look anywhere in the chart at any time what is happening, okay? And we can kind of grasp a good understanding of why price is moving in this direction or why price is moving in that direction. We can get a good grasp of it, right? But when it's most powerful is when we are at these major levels of, not major levels of resistance. We're at our key levels, okay? Because when we're at our key levels, what tends to happen, right? We see more of a reaction, okay, to call it. We see more action, right? Let's say more action at these important levels. Why? Because these important levels are levels that retail traders are looking at to enter into trades, right? Yes, we're looking at these levels to enter into trades at the, at that kind of same area, but right, what are we looking for, right? We're looking for the opposite trade of the retail trader. So when I'm just a bit of a broader, like a short answer to what a reaction is, okay? It's what are the traders doing up here, right? This is when I'll head over to Excel charts, order flow, and I'll just get a good understanding of what is happening up here. So here, right, of course, we had like over 70, almost 80 million new long trades come in at the high here. And that was in just 2 candles, okay? Just 2 candles. Of course, there were many more longs that opened up here, but at the same time, there were many longs that opened up on the move up, right? And yeah, what we did, okay, is we came up into resistance, right? We took out the liquidity, of course. Then we got that failed auction, which was that trade entry trigger. Why? Because then we knew that a large portion of traders were offside. They were underwater, right? They were becoming trapped traders, right? Which is, of course, one of my favorite things to look for, right? I say this all the time. There are 3 things that I look for when entering into a trade, right? I look for trapped traders, okay, when traders are getting trapped. Right, I look for a huge portion of the market to get wrecked, okay, basically. And then the last one is I look for big players, right? That's when I'm looking for absorption, right? I'm looking for big players who are absorbing these smaller orders, right? So those are the 3 things that I like to look for. In this trade, right, what did we get? We got trapped traders, okay? So, of course, I took the short trade, like I told the team here, and then pretty quickly we took a TP1, and I told the team I still feel as though we can go lower, right? And that's exactly what happened. Look at all those long trades getting wrecked, right? Price was going lower. TP2 after price pulled back even further, right? And this was, again, another plan that we had, $60,400, right? This is a plan we had for quite some time as well to take some profit here. Well, ever since we entered into the trade, to take some profits here. Why? It wasn't a level of interest that I was looking to long, but again, naked points of control have proven themselves time and time again to be just amazing support and resistance levels. Do they all act as support and resistance? Absolutely not. No. Okay, but a lot of the time they do. So, of course, it gave us that perfect opportunity to take some more profits off of the table. And yeah, that's, of course, $3,440 in a profit. Still had $1,300 unrealized. Move the stop loss to entry. Completely risk-free trade. Completely risk-free trade. So that's how I'm positioned. I'm still in this short trade, as you can see here. We ever so slightly front run my stop loss, which was at entry. Okay, so yeah, $64,500. We ever so slightly front run it. So I'm still in this short trade. We have got a bit of a pullback over the course of yesterday, and a little bit today as well. Not really much today, but a little bit lower today. So yeah, still in this short trade. Okay, here we go. It's almost $700 unrealized profit in this trade, and I'm just happy to sit on this trade. Right, I'm very, very comfortable, very happy to just sit on this trade because I'm not in a long trade right now. Okay, I've realized profit on this short trade, move the stop loss to entry, so it's completely risk free. So I'm happy to just let the rest of the trade ride. Right, I'm just happy to let the rest of the trade ride, and I do still think that we could see a little bit lower. Right. Does this mean that I'm extremely bearish on Bitcoin? Absolutely not. Okay, this does not mean that I'm extremely bearish on Bitcoin. Right, it just means I'm looking for a little bit lower. And actually, I would say I'm a little bit, I'm swaying a little bit more to the bullish case scenario locally, right? After a bit of a pullback, because we're actually starting to form higher time frame bullish structure, which again we haven't formed in. What's this been? 7-8 months. Okay, we haven't formed this in about 7 or 8 months, right? And for 7 and 8 months, right? 7 to 8 months, I've been very bearish on Bitcoin. I've been pretty openly bearish on Bitcoin as well. Okay, yes, okay, I've taken a long from here, right? I've taken a long from here. I've taken a long from here, right? I've been taking these longs as well, yes, right? But as long as we've remained in this bearish structure, I've been very bearish on Bitcoin. Okay, And I think I have the right to, and I think a lot of you can agree with me. Okay, there are going to be those perma bulls out there who are going to disagree with me, right? That Bitcoin has been bearish, all right, but it is true, right, that Bitcoin has been bearish, and I have been correct in my decision, right, to be bearish. Of course, I still view this as very personal. I still view this as everyone has their own opinion on what's going on in the market. Okay, lots of people will, of course, view this pullback here as something that's very, very bullish. Of course, right, and the way I like to trade have looked at this and thought that this is actually bearish. It's not bullish, right? And why am I looking at this in more of a bearish standpoint rather than a bullish standpoint? Well, because it does actually help you extract more profits from the market when you can change your mindset from being or change your mindset from swaying a little bit more bullish to a little bit more bearish. Why do I say this? Well, because, right, of course, we were taking long trades from down here. We were taking short trades from up here. Long trades, short trades, long trades, short trades, okay? When you're in a downtrend like this, what is the biggest move? Okay, well, the biggest move, of course, is down, right? The biggest move is down. So if you are a little bit more bearish, okay, a little bit more bearish, right? You are, right, in a downtrend going to make more profits, okay? You're going to extract more profits from the markets. Why? Right, well, because Bitcoin moves down further in a downtrend. Right, so what are you basically doing? Right, you're keeping your short trades open for a longer period of time, and you're keeping your long trades open for a shorter period of time because you are acknowledging that Bitcoin is making lower highs, right? So you're not holding that long trade open for too long to the point where you miss a short trade and then price comes all the way back down to your entry and you just completely get wrecked on that long trade, right? So it is very, very beneficial to shift your mindsets. Okay, very beneficial to be shifting your mindsets from maybe a little bit more bullish to a little bit more bearish, or a little bit more bearish to a little bit more bullish. Okay, it's very, very important to do that. And on this downtrend here, I think a lot of you can agree with me. It has been the right decision to be a little bit more bearish. Right? Why? Because I've been holding those short trades open for a longer period of time because price has gone down, okay, further than it's actually gone up. Okay, price has gone, like, if we're looking at it on a percentage basis, right, we've seen price go down more on a percentage basis than price has gone up. Okay, so it's very, very important to of course think about that. And then, right, it leads us on to what are we doing right now? Okay, that leads us on to what are we doing right now? Well, we're actually starting to form, that bullish structure. Right, we're starting to form that bullish structure. So now, of course, we have the long trade from here. I didn't take this, this happened quite late in the evening, right? And I was asleep. So unfortunately, I didn't get that long trade, right? But it would have been a really, really nice long trade. But at the same time, right, what is price doing? Okay, what is price doing? Well, price is, of course, in this bullish structure. So even though I'm in a short trade, right? Okay, I've got the short trade open, okay, and I'm still holding a nice chunk of the short trade open as well. Okay, even if, right, so let's say I took the long trade from here, we had the long trade from here. Okay, even if, I'm looking for a little bit lower, we could still have been in that long trade. Okay, we can still have been in that long trade, and Bitcoin can still hold that bullish structure with, of course, the low, the higher low, the higher low here, and we can go up higher, right? Of course, making another higher high and increasing that profits, increasing the profits on that trade as well. Okay, so it's very, very important. Like here, my mindset is shifting a little bit more to the bullish case scenario because we're starting to form that higher time frame bullish structure, which we haven't done in a very, very long time. Okay. And if you can do that, right, if you can understand when the market is swaying a little bit more to the bullish case scenario or to the bearish case scenario, you can extract more profits from the market, exactly like the example I showed you here, right, where I held the short trades open for longer, okay, and I held the long trades open for a shorter period of time because I understood, right, that price is forming lower highs and price is forming lower lows. Whereas now, okay, what am I going to be looking to do? Well, if I'm getting into a long trade, right, on a pullback, which of course I will talk about, we do have a long trade planned. Okay, we'll see how it, we'll see if we actually come down and tap that level that we're interested in longing, and we'll see if we get that long trade set up. Right, I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, but if we do get that long trade set up, okay, we pull back. Let's say we get that long trade set up. Of course, I would be looking to hold this long trade up, right, longer than I've held this short trade open for. Okay, why? Because price is in bullish structure. I'm looking for price to move on a percentage basis more to the upside than it has to the downside, because again, going back to what I said, bullish structure. Okay, so it's a very important thing to be able to, shift that mindset, right? And I understand that, just a huge portion of the market, right? We've spoken about this a lot. A huge portion of the market has been extremely, extremely bullish on every single move up, right? Every single move up. This move up here, this move up here, this move up here, this move up here. Every retail trader, okay, every retail trader and their dog has been extremely bullish with every single move up, okay? And what's happened to them? They've got they've got wrecked, okay, quite badly on every single move down, right? So who has been wrong in this? Okay, well, those retail traders have been very, very wrong, okay, for longing that. Okay, but what we could start to see, right, and we haven't seen it yet, okay, so I'm not saying this is what we're seeing, right, but this is what we could start to see, right? We could start to see a little bit of a shift. Maybe the retail traders get more bearish now. Okay, why am I saying that? Well, because we're not actually seeing as many long trades coming into the market that than we used to. Okay, talking about a few months ago on these moves up. Right, so the move up that we've seen most recently, hasn't been a huge, like in terms of trades coming in, hasn't been huge in comparison to these ones here. Okay, so again, I'm not saying that we're going to start seeing the retail traders be getting bearish right now, and we're going to see more of them starting to short rather than long, but it's a possibility, right? And again, this is just something we need to open our eyes to and acknowledge, right? Again, exactly like I acknowledged here, we've seen a huge portion of the market longing every single move up here, right? And what happened to them? They got absolutely destroyed. Okay. And that's that's, I guess, right. It's the same basis of this trade here that I'm in, the short trade. We've seen a lot of long trades open up here, very, very bullish. Nowhere near the amount that we saw back here, of course, but still it's offered a really, really nice trade for us. And of course, we haven't seen price pull back as far as we have previously. Why? Okay, well, this goes back to just literally what I said, right, where we're not seeing as many long trades coming in here. Why? Because most of the market has probably completely exhausted themselves, over leveraged, overexposed, and they've got nothing left. Okay, or they are now just extremely, extremely fearful to even enter into a trade. Okay, so we'll see a quiet period, and that's probably what we're seeing now, right? A bit of a quiet period, smaller movements, a bit more consolidation, rather than these really nice, breathable moves. Okay, and then we, of course, soon enough see that big move again. So this is something that we need to, of course, be aware of, and it's something that I'm monitoring at the moment. I'm just kind of trying to get a bit of a grasp of what is happening here, right? Because to be honest with you, even myself, right, I do not really fully understand what is happening here, right? Close to the end of this right here, I fully understood the assignment. I fully understood what was happening, right? Because it was happening quite a few times, right? Now we're kind of changing, the perspective of it right now, okay? Because we've not actually come down and created another lower low, right? We're kind of breaking that trend. Now we haven't technically broken the trend yet, okay? We haven't technically broken the trend, because for that we kind of need to get above 70k, right? But we're kind of changing the trend, right? Where we're now starting to form this bullish structure, right? And now we need to kind of position ourselves in such a way that we can understand what is happening here, and of course, the most important thing, extract profits from the market, right, whilst doing this, right? So of course, still had the short trade from it, really, really nice. And I initially, because with prices pulling back, I want to look for a long trade. I do. Okay, again, price rises, I look for shorts, right? Price pulls back, I look for a long trade, right? So for me right now, okay, we've had a bit of a pullback. We're getting a bit of a rise here, bit of a pullback here. Not really interested in what's happening here, right? I'm just remaining patient and waiting to see what is really going on here, right? What is really going on? Are we going to pull back? Where are we here? Are we going to pull back a little bit further, right, to these major levels below us, which of course are 56, 425, 57, 850, right? This kind of zone here, where of course I'm looking for that possible long trade. And again, right, this goes back to what is the structure of Bitcoin right now? What is that structure? Well, that structure is bullish. Okay, so this pullback, yes, okay, I'm taking advantage of the pullback. I'm short, but doesn't mean I'm extremely bearish. Absolutely not. Right, I'm looking for price to pull back to form a higher low, because that's kind of the trend that we're seeing here. Okay, that's the kind of the trend that we're seeing here for the long trade, to take that up for a higher high to continue this trend, right? Then what are we looking at, right? Then what are we looking at? We're looking at the exact same thing that we saw back here, okay, but in the opposite direction. Instead of, right, being, you know, bearish, still longing, right, but being a little bit more bearish and holding those short trades open for a longer period of time, we are now looking a little bit more bullish, okay, and looking to hold those long trades open for a bit of a longer time, okay, to, of course, percentage-wise, make more profits, right? So for me, my plan is to look for a little bit lower. Doesn't mean we're going to get it. Absolutely not, right? We may not get a pullback, right? We may not continue lower. We could just go up from here. And this could just be here, the higher low, right? That could be it, right? Of course, we bounced off of a nice naked point of control at $60,400. That tapped one here. You can ignore all of these naked points of control. They are important, so don't completely ignore them. But yeah, those are the fresh naked points of control, of course. But that tapped one there at $60,400. That's why price did see this reversal, right? That is why price saw the reversal. So that could be the pivot point. We could go up, make a higher high from there, okay, and not actually come down for this long trade that we have planned down here. That's a possibility, right? If we do come down here, I will look for that long trade. Okay, I will look for that long trade. But let's say, right, let's say we do not come down for the long trade. Let's say we just go up and make a new high here. Right, if we do that, okay, again, I have another plan. I have another plan. I can just see Reddy, good to see you back, my friend. I haven't seen you here in a while, so it's good to see you back. I hope you are doing well, my friend. But yeah, if we see price coming up, right, of course we have 66,497. We have this major pivotal point up here. Okay, if we're coming up to this area, right, of course we do have some confluence there. We do have a naked point of control at 67,300, right, so resistance, right. If we're coming up here, seeing lots of long trades opening up, of course, what am I going to be looking for? I'm going to be looking for that short trade, of course, if we get that failed auction. And of course, I want to see those trap traders at the high. That's kind of what I really want to see for that bearish reaction, right? And then there, we look for the pullback, okay? Does this mean I'm looking for a huge pullback to 40K? No, right? I'm looking for a bit of a pullback, and we have to kind of like judge what's happening, right? Because if that is the higher low, right, then we're looking for price to pull back to some sort of this sort of region here, possibly. You know, because of course, if we're in this bullish structure, we want to continue to hold the bullish structure, right? If we want to see higher prices and we want to break this very bearish trend that we are in, right? We want to remain in that bullish structure. Okay. Of course, I'll be looking for that short trade, right? For then price to pull back to possibly get a long trade. However, if there is no long trade, right, we could see price go lower, maybe a long trade from here. If not, we just see price go lower, lower, lower. Okay, break that higher time frame bullish structure that we were forming and just continue with this bearish structure. That's a possibility. All right, so these are, you know, all of the scenarios, and I guess, you know, there is a few more that maybe I haven't spoken about as well. But initially, right, is coming up, looking for the short trade, bit of a pullback. Long, if we get it, we look for higher prices. If we do not get the long, okay, we can look for lower prices, right? That's the bearish case scenario, okay? Or, you know, bullish to bearish to bullish case scenario, or the bullish to bearish to very bearish case scenario, right? However you want to look at it, right? However, of course, we need to see. We don't know what price is going to do. We need to see what happens at our key levels, right? But yeah, these are kind of my plans, right? I've got the shorting area up here. I've got the area that I'm interested in longing down here. Okay, possible area of interest here, right? But I would rather see this area here. Okay, so there's kind of like 3 levels of importance for me right now. Okay, so there's 66,500 to 67,300. There's 56,400 to 57,800. Okay, and then there's a level here that I'm slightly interested in at 60,150 approximately. Okay, so those are kind of like the key levels that I have. And at either one of those levels, right, I'm looking for a trade. Does it mean I'm going to take a trade there? Absolutely not. Right, I need to see what's happening, all right, in terms of the order flow at each of these levels. Right, if I see what I want to see, everything aligns, confluence aligns, bias aligns, all of that good stuff, right? If it all aligns, I will then take that trade, right? I will then take that trade, but it all depends on what is happening. Okay, it all depends on what is happening. So yeah, that's kind of my plan at this moment in time. It's just patience, right? It's just patience. It's a very, very important thing to be patient in these markets. Of course, if you're a scalp trader, if you're a day trader, okay, and I believe that there are different types of day traders, because I just do still consider myself as a bit of a day trader. But there are day traders that trade every single day, right? And then there are day traders who will take a day trade, maybe 1 day or 2 day, maybe 3 days a week, right? Rather than every single day. So yeah, for me, it's patience right now, because I'm waiting for my highest probability trade setups. I'm waiting for the best trade setups. Okay, I'm waiting for those bigger trades. I'm not looking to zoom into the 1 hour time frame and take those lower quality trades, in my opinion. If I have to do that, okay, then because the market conditions are of such, right, where maybe we're getting really tight consolidation like this, right, and it's just very boring, okay, and I'm not itching and scratching to get in a trade, but right, I look at that and I see, okay, there are good trading opportunities here, then I will take what I believe a high probability trade on a lower time frame. Okay, that's what I will do. But where I'm at right now, I've just got rid of all of my naked points of control. There we go. Yeah, where I'm at right now, I'm really liking, all right, the bigger day trades to swing trades, right? Why? Because it's just been such amazing. Again, I've not spoken about this in a couple of weeks maybe, but price has been very one directional. Okay, very one directional recently. May seem like a weird term, and it probably is. I probably made it up, right? But what I mean by one directional is, we're kind of just seeing a move up, a move down, a move up, move down, move up, move down. Whereas sometimes, okay, we're not seeing that as such. Okay, where right, this is a perfect example. Okay, one directional move up, but then you get this really like horrible, hard to trade consolidation phase. Well, hard to trade on the higher time frames, right? Of course, that's when you zoom into the lower time frames, and kind of the same thing here, right? Consolidation here, then you get one directional, then you get one directional move. Okay, and those in these circumstances, that's when you're going into the lower time frames. Okay, but in these circumstances, right, when you get in these really breathable, big, nice, profitable moves, okay, I would rather look for those bigger trades on the higher time frames. Okay, which in turn means that they are, in my experience anyway, are higher probability trades. Okay, higher the time frame, the higher the confluence, the higher probability that trade is. Okay, in my opinion anyway. You may think otherwise, right? But this is just what I'm, what I've learned from these markets, right? And that's what I've learned that works for me, okay, in these markets. So yeah, here right now is patience. Okay, patience. I'm in a trade. I'm happy with how I'm positioned. Okay, I like I said to the team this morning, right? I still think there's a possibility that we could go lower. Right? I still think that is a possibility, and not necessarily like a huge move down, just a little bit of a move down for a possible long trade. And the reason why I say that is because this move up here isn't great. It isn't great. We're not seeing. Again, I'll show you what I showed the team this morning, right? Open interest hasn't really increased. It's kind of just gone sideways. Delta is, yes, okay, we're getting these long trades coming in. You can see 15 million, 4.5 million, 2.1 million, 14 million, 13 million, 3.9 million, 13 million. So yes, we're getting these long trades come in, okay, but we're actually seeing more sells come into the market, not necessarily shorts, okay, because you can see open interest is decreasing on some of these, okay, so not necessarily shorts, but we're seeing more negative delta coming into the market right now, and you can see that easily on the CVD here, because you can see CVD is ticking down over time, right? The CVD is ticking down. Now, you can look at this, of course, as bullish, okay? You can look at this as bullish. Why? Because we are getting some really, really nice, to be honest with you, bullish absorption, right? Where these sells into the market are getting absorbed, right? So, of course, this is looking quite good, right? For me, at where we are now, okay, right, there just isn't enough confluence for me to look at this and say, all right, I'm looking for a move up here. Okay, so yes, right, very much we are seeing some signs of bullishness. Not enough for me, though, to take a trade, right? Not enough for me to look for higher prices. So, yeah, I think there is still a case to be had that we can pull back a little bit further before we then go up, right? Because ultimately, right, that's kind of where I'm leaning, okay? I'm leaning a little bit more bullish, right? Because we're starting to form higher time frame bullish structure. So when I'm, when you can see me here in a short trade, right? And you can see me here saying, I would like to look for a little bit lower. Again, just want to make it very clear. It's not that I'm bearish, right? It's that this isn't a stupid idea, okay? And at the same time, it gives us a really nice area to look for a long trade, okay? That's all it is, right? So, yeah, again, like I just don't care where price is going to go, but, right, if we do get that pullback, we do get to that area I'm interested in longing, then absolutely let's take the trade. Okay, of course, we need to see everything aligning, like I said earlier, but if we get that, great. Okay, we can go higher. If we don't, fine, right? We go higher, we look for a short trade at higher prices. I don't care. Okay, I don't care where we go. As long as we are tapping one of my key levels, and I can tell you for sure that we are going to tap one of those levels, right? Because I have never, ever, okay, there's never, ever been a scenario where one of my key levels has never been tapped, right? It's kind of impossible, right? Because price is at some point always going to move, and it is at some point always going to tap one of those key levels that I have. Okay, so yeah, up until that point, it is just patience, right? It is just patience. Quick look at the stock market, right? Stock market has been rising over the course of today. Now, this is what I say, quite a lot here. Stock market rises doesn't mean Bitcoin rises. Of course, you would expect it to, but it doesn't mean it rises. Bitcoin's actually been pulling back whilst the stock market has been rising. Okay, and it's again just to highlight what I say a lot of the time, stock market pulls back, Bitcoin pulls back pretty much every single time. Stock market rises, Bitcoin sometimes follows it if it wants to. Okay, so yeah, just wanted to make that statement there. Again, we've got the gap, right? So we need to be aware of that as well. If we do come and fill that gap, let's expect Bitcoin to pull back as well. So that's something to be aware of. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's how I'm positioned. That's what my plan is. What the levels that I'm interested in trading. That's all of it, right? That's all of it. So yeah, it's again patience, right? Let's wait patiently for those key levels. And of course, if I do end up taking the trade, as I always do, I will update the team on the Visionary Discord first. Okay, as I'm taking that trade, of course, they will get that notification that I have taken the trade. So yeah, if you do want access to this, again, where I give all of my trades away, whenever I take profit as well, then that is the first link in the description. It will take you over to this page here. You can get access to all of that education, all of the good stuff there. Yeah, I think I will leave that there. Keep it a little bit shorter today. I don't want to repeat myself too many times. I understand it can get a little bit boring, but what you have to understand is that trading, a large portion of trading does require being patient. Okay, it does require being patient. So you have to learn how to be patient. And yeah, okay, maybe sometimes, right, it may get a little bit boring. Okay, but you can't view it as boring. Okay, you can't view it. You have to keep your mind at ease. You have to keep your mind busy, doing something else, right? Doing something else. Again, I'm remaining patient. Okay, but I'm in a very successful trade right now. Okay, so yeah, right, maybe trading is boring at this moment in time, but I would never perceive it as boring, because I understand that, looking at that kind of profit, from, not really doing much, okay, just sitting down and using your brain a little bit, okay, can give you some really, really nice returns. So, yeah, okay, maybe it's boring, but it's only boring because you sat behind the computer non-stop looking and waiting for price to come and tap your level, right? Put alerts in, take your mind away from the charts, go do something else, come back when your alerts have been set off, then analyze, then take the trade if the trade is there. So yeah, I will end on that. Yeah, I hope you gained some value from this. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please again smash that thumbs up button. Really helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content to you. Of course, if you are new as well, subscribe, turn that bell notification on so you don't miss updates like this. But yeah, I will leave that there. I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely, lovely rest of your day. Good to see familiar faces back. Ready? Good to see you back, my friend. I hope you, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. For any Visionary members, of course, I'll see you in the Visionary Discord. So yeah, take care, guys, and see you later. Goodbye.
Take me home, 'cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, 'cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener, I guess what they're saying.